Get the fuck off me! Fuck you, you damn fucking gun!
So we are talking about the 2017 movie Blood Hunt. Not to be confused with Blood Hunters, which is also a recent horror film. No, this one is an Australian rape revenge story directed by Sam Curtin. And it focuses on a young couple as they are going for a kind of a long drive somewhere. They end up kind of running into a group of kind of degenerate kind of Australian equivalent of hillbillies, I suppose, and they kind of run afoul of them, and ultimately these redneck types, I don't know what you call them in Australia, you have to tell me if you're Australian, anyway, they sort of end up sort of capturing him, do naughty things with the woman, and are very violent as well, and obviously ultimately it comes a kind of a rape revenge story. With a little bit of a difference is it focuses more on the male character than the female character, unlike most rape revenge stories. So what do we think of this movie? It's a very simple story, not a particularly complex plot. It really just goes from point A to B. So it isn't very original in regards to any kind of twists on the story. I don't think you won't be kind of surprised, I feel, in this story. It doesn't really do anything new with the genre. And it seems to be a movie where mobile phones don't exist, because not once do I see someone trying to call the police or anything like that. And also, when the bad guys are having their kind of just desserts, not one of them screams out for the others to come and help, which kind of bugged me. But overall, this is a well-made film. It's well acted, particularly by the kind of the two kind of protagonists. They do seem like a genuine couple. There's some great kind of character building stuff at the beginning, where we do feel that they have some genuine problems, and the chemistry between the two leads is quite palpable, I have to say. The lead bad guy is like a charismatic asshole. I thought he was quite well played. Like I said, maybe there's some scenes with him that seem to be a little bit underwritten and a little bit cliche, particularly at the end, where he's kind of has his kind of final confrontation, I suppose, and he seems not too distressed about things that have happened to his cohorts. That's all I can really say without spoiling it. Which I thought, even if he's an asshole, you would probably still be somewhat expressive about it. And it's also extremely brutal. There are some extreme type of torture and death here. It's not too gratuitous on screen, but the implied violence is very strong. So obviously, if you're somewhat of weak disposition, you may want to check out that one. But it's not, you don't see it all on screen, but it's definitely, you know, in your mind about what's happening and stuff like that. I've got to say, despite some of its flaws, and maybe it's somewhat kind of pedestrian story, it was a well-acted, well-made film that really does hit home with some good characters, and a kind of an engaging pace to it. It was, didn't really I wasn't bored at any part in this film, and I've got to say, I actually kind of appreciated the film, what they did there, in its simplicity to a certain degree. So some films can work through but not having massively complex plots and kind of like twists and turns. So overall, I have to say I kind of enjoyed this one. I'll give it a slightly above average 6 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to you next time. Bye for now.